All season with defense. It's been about their defense, not their offense. Their offense is terrific, but their defense is championship good.
Hubert Davis in his third season as head coach of the Heels. Jon Scheyer in his second as head coach of the Blue Devils, and it's visiting Carolina with the first possession of the game as we are ready for the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup.
Duke already switching some exchanges. Now Jared McCain switched off onto Harrison Ingram. He's going to go one-on-one in the post.
Ingram had a huge game against Duke back in Chapel Hill. 21 points, 13 rebounds, and he knocks down the first shot of the game as we show you the starting lineups brought to you by Degree, Proctor, Roach, McCain in the backcourt. Mark Mitchell playing great ball in conference play, and then Kyle Filipowski, and a big key in Jon Scheyer's mind, keep him on the floor. Filipowski will have foul trouble from time to time.
And he's battling with Armando Bacot down low, had his arms wrapped around him. No call. It's early in the game, but he got in foul trouble against NC State, had to sit the majority of the first half, only played 4 minutes. That can't happen in this game.
That's why Sean Stewart got all those minutes, and he ended up playing extremely well. Bacot with the left hand, Carolina up 4 early.
And Armando Bacot immediately body seeking. He normally likes to go to that right hand over his left shoulder. That time had the angle, went to the left hand, straight to the basket.
Carolina led almost the entire game back at the Dean Dome. Led for better than 38 minutes of the 41-93 to 84.
Carolina trying to chase over the top of those handoff actions.
Filipowski, the spin, and the fadeaway will go.
Kyle Filipowski has terrific feet. He can pivot, likes to spin when he puts the ball on the deck.
Out of bounds, a turnover, gives it back to Duke.
And that's a difficult straight line pass, and Kyle Filipowski doing a great job of trying to get position. But here he's off of Armando Bacot, and Bacot just gets that angle to get to his left hand. And here's Filipowski with that footwork, able to pivot, and that's a difficult shot to turn over that left shoulder when you're a right-handed player. A lot of guys with a turnaround jumper like to go over the right shoulder. It's just easier.
Roach to Filipowski, around and out, and the rebound down to Ingram, who's the leading rebounder for the ACC in conference games. Cormac Ryan with the quick release and buries the corner three.
That's where North Carolina can be so difficult to deal with in transition with a catch and shoot.
Strong drive by Jared McCain, but he couldn't finish it. Back comes R.J. Davis. Touch pass to Ryan. Same spot, same result. 10-2 Carolina.
That was like instant replay. Was that just a replay?
Ryan, of course, has played a lot of games in this series, comes from Notre Dame, so this is nothing new for him.
Carolina really getting out on the perimeter to impact the ball.
And the friendly roll for Mark Mitchell, second field goal of the night for Duke.
How good has Mitchell been in ACC play, averaging over 13 points, 7 rebounds, and he's overcome some early shooting woes. Now got the switch. Harrison Ingram being guarded by Proctor.
Good D by Proctor to stay in front of him. 10 to shoot. Ingram trying to back him down. Banks at home. Tough shot.
Anytime he gets a switch and has a guard on him, he's just going to back him down, go one-on-one. We chronicled to that today on College Game Day, and already we've seen it twice. First against McCain, now against Proctor.
What an addition to the Carolina program he's been on the court and in the locker room as well. Hubert Davis tells us he's the connector of the team. Ryan in transition, no call. And then a steal by Cadeau.
What a play by Cadeau.
And Cormac Ryan knocks down his third three of the game. Jon Scheyer needs a timeout.
That was a spectacular play by Elliot Cadeau.
By Duke, Jeremy tore his ACL back in 2018 when he was just 16. But Coach Scheyer immediately reached out and said, hey, you are still our priority. Fast forward, freshman year was COVID, no NCAA tournament. Sophomore year, he went to the Final Four during Coach K's final season. And junior year, named captain for Coach Scheyer's first year as head coach and led the team to an ACC championship. Now it's senior year, and Coach Scheyer says Jeremy has been extra special, and their bond began back when he started texting him when he tore his ACL, saying, hey, I see you, I'm with you, and I'm here for you.
He's had a terrific year on and off the court, leadership and production, but right now Duke's got problems. They coughed it up again. Carolina has executed beautifully at the offensive end. They're 6 for 7 from the floor. Deflected off Filipowski. It still belongs to the heels.
And right now, North Carolina is not only quicker to loose balls, they're first on the floor. And North Carolina has actually bullied Duke a little bit. You know, when they're trying to set a cross screen now, you just saw the turnover, and then Cormac Ryan dives on the floor and is first to the floor.
He's already got 3 threes, missed that one. Ball's loose. Baycott's got it, and he calls a timeout.
Right now, they're not 50-50 balls. They're 100-0 in favor of North Carolina.
Back to Cameron in 30. What a start for Carolina.
9 points in the first few minutes of this game. That matches his total from the first game against Duke in the Dean Dome. Cormac Ryan has become more of a driver this year. And if you run him off that three-point line, he's been much better at getting a piece of the paint.
Carolina ball with an early 11-point lead here in this one. Cadeau using the ball screen from Baycott. The drive, the scoop, and the finish.
You know that Elliot Cadeau is not going to pull up for a three-pointer there. And Duke just lost him in simple ball screen action. Got all the way to the rim. And John Shire has to be disappointed with the way his team has started.
McCain slips, but there's a foul on Elliot Cadeau.
Just a ball screen up top in the slot. And Elliot Cadeau able to turn the corner, get all the way to the rim. When you run that in the middle of the floor, it's so hard to help because you're helping off the three-point line.
What does Duke need to do to settle down and get a good look at the offensive end?
Well, you heard Jess Sims at the start of the game say value offensive possessions, and Duke has not gotten the shot they want early on. You credit North Carolina's defense. It has been spectacular.
Proctor with a strong drive and a finish.
Now, one of the things, Dan, about North Carolina's defense this year, it is much more physical, and they impact the ball with pressure. They are more out in passing lanes than the past several years that I can remember. And it's been a long time since you've talked about North Carolina and you led with their defense. It's usually their offense that you're afraid of, and this year you're concerned about their defense.
They are ranked 6th in the nation in defensive efficiency per KenPom. One thing they can always do, as you know well, Jay, is get on the offensive glass.
Yeah, nobody boxed out on the weak side. It was both Withers and Ingram over there just playing volleyball after the miss by Baycott with one-on-one in the post against Sean Stewart.
Hubert Davis also getting good mileage out of his bench this year, whether it's Withers, Trimble, Jalen Washington. It is a deeper team than it was a season ago. We barely said R.J. Davis's name, and Carolina's up 13 already. That shows you that they're a pretty good club. It's not just a one-man show with this guy. Blocked from behind by Sean Stewart.
Tyrese Proctor struggled in Chapel Hill against Carolina, but just gives almost a little Euro step, gets into the lane, and gets right around Armando Baycott, who's the best shot blocker for North Carolina. But watch this weak side rebounding coverage. You had just Kyle Filipowski having to deal with both Withers and Ingram. And 2-on-1 rebounding is not what you want. You have to have somebody crack down to pick up that second rebounder.
Filipowski sits. Washington has just come in for Baycott. Jalen Washington, the 6'10 sophomore out of Gary, Indiana, not playing a ton because he's behind Baycott, but very productive on a per-minute basis. And an early touch for him.
He's a face-up big guy.
Trimble passed up the three. He is not really an outside shooter, and then he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one, even though he's not known as an outside shooter, he can make a three. And you can't pass that shot up.
He's actually shooting a good percentage, just doesn't take many. He is 9 for 24 this year, was just 1 for 6 last year from three as a freshman.
And he had 10 points and 2 assists in the first game against Duke in just 19 minutes. And he's a powerful guard. Can play the 4 spot if he has to. But he's a really good defender. Can't play with the ball in front of him.
Young, the 5th-year senior. He was part of senior night as well. 2 years here after 3 at Northwestern. Roach. And it's going to be Sean Stewart over the back.
Sean Stewart just shoved Jalen Withers in the back. But North Carolina has done a really good job defensively. Harrison Ingram did an excellent job there early on Jared McCain. Just a really good contest there by Jalen Washington, forcing Jeremy Roach to finish a tough 2. And right now, you heard Jess Sims talk about at the top of the broadcast. Duke wanted to run really good offense, disciplined offense to get the shot they want. And you can't even count on one hand the good shots that Duke has seen in this game because of Carolina's defense.
Cormac Ryan has returned for Carolina. Again, he's got 3 threes already. Nice feed from R.J. Davis, and Washington slams it home.
That is a play, Dan, that Jalen Washington would not have made last year. He had that dunk. He had some injuries last year. Remember that a similar dunk against Virginia, then got hurt in that game. He was busting out in that game, but that's a big-time finish by Jalen Washington.
He is a talent. Give it a go. Young, Proctor. Young gets it back again. McCain pulls up from 12 feet and knocks it down.
Oh, Trimble did a really nice job there of running Jared McCain off the three-point line. He got the 2, but it was a contested 2 in the lane. The important part for Trimble, he took away the 3.
Washington can shoot it as well, misses the 3. Roach pulls up for a transition 3. Now Proctor crossing over on Davis.
Good job by Cormac Ryan with a high hand there on Jeremy Roach. Just discouraged that shot.
And really good defense in the corner there by Seth Trimble to force a turnover.
Stayed in front and then reassumed the pressure. Like Jalen Washington coming, not just going to find yourself open. You have to work to get open, and you have to work through physical play. Because North Carolina has been physical. And they've discouraged passes. They've impacted the ball. They've pushed Duke further out. And when you get resistance, you have to meet it with as much strength as they give it.
Cadeau's pass is stolen, and Proctor gets them all riled up here in Cameron with the steal and the dunk. And immediately after that happened, Hubert Davis summoned Harrison Ingram to check in. Baycott's coming in as well. Trimble from the free throw line gets the bounce.
That's where he operates, is taking the ball to the basket. He's an explosive athlete that's a strong driver. You have to keep him out of the paint.
Filipowski has it knocked away, gets it back. Now McCain, who's been so good for Duke, knocks down a long 2.
That was good strength by Jared McCain. Went right into the defense, knocked it back, and was able to step back from that open shot. Completely in balance. That was using his strength and meeting the resistance that Carolina was providing.
Here comes Ingram. Here comes Baycott. For Hubert Davis, John Shire has put T.J. Power, a freshman from Shrewsbury, Mass, into the game. A really good outside shooter.
T.J. Power, 13 of his 14 field goals on the season are threes, but you can drive him.
Ingram drove Mitchell, got it back, and hit it.
He is a beast. 11 rebounds a game in ACC play, and he takes advantage of every matchup that is in his favor.
Filipowski thought about the 3, now trying to back down Baycott, kicks it out. Mitchell for 3. He's been making them an ACC play, but it misses that one.
You have to give Mark Mitchell a lot of credit. He started out the season 1 of 19 from 3, and teams were not even guarding him. Specifically Arkansas when they went on the road in the ACC-SEC Challenge, and the first game they played against Arizona here in the building, Umar Ballo didn't even go out to go near him, and he has really improved.
Cadeau with a drive. Look at the quickness that this kid has. Carolina leads by 15.
Well, you say that Elliot Cadeau's not a perimeter shooter. He's a driver, and still he drives. I mean, that shows how good he is putting the ball on the deck and getting into the paint.
Past the midway point of the first half, R.J. Davis getting set to check back in. Hasn't scored in this game, and the Heels have a 15-point lead. Roach driving into a trio of defenders, and now he's caught behind the play. It's 5-on-4. Ryan into Baycott, and they play on.
Well, Baycott missed it. What a play by Cormac Ryan to take on Filipowski.
Mitchell, nobody to pass to, so he'll drive it and draw the foul.
Elliot Cadeau is just a freshman, and he just muscles past with great quickness Jeremy Roach to get all the way to the rim, and Harrison Ingram, just playing bully ball inside, gets his own rebound off the block shot and still able to get that mid-range shot in the lane. He has been fantastic, not only in this game but all season long.
Now for the 39th year, Champ Week continues tomorrow with 3 women's title games on ESPN and the app. The ACC Championship game is at 1 Eastern, followed by the SEC Championship game, and then the Pac-12 Championship game caps a great afternoon. What a day. So many teams will be crowned and tourney bound.
Dan, right now North Carolina shooting 63% from the field, in large measure because they are getting open threes in transition. Cormac Ryan has been fantastic with catch and shoot, and they're getting into the lane at will.
Proctor guarding Davis. Davis trying to find a little bit of open space. The ACC's leading scorer, better than 21 a game. Ryan with a shot fake and a drive, and he has it knocked away.
Thought he got fouled.
Filipowski for 3. Offensive rebound, McCain. Proctor for 3. Tipped up and in by Filipowski.
That was all started by Jared McCain, one of the best guard rebounders in the ACC. Averages 5 rebounds a game, had 11 rebounds against North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
A touch for Baycott. And the foul's called on Filipowski. I think Filipowski is claiming that Baycott, even though he was the offensive player, might have hooked his arm. They got all tangled up.
Well, Baycott raised that left arm. I'm not sure he hooked him, but he raised it up. It was close to one, but he's got him underneath. That's where the call came from. I don't think that rises to the level of a hook and hold, but certainly one that they would call a foul on. Hubert Davis loves replay.
He was thrilled with everything when we talked to him before the game, except he didn't understand the music the players were listening to before the game. He said, I can't even make out any of the words.
And then I said, what would you play if it were your choice? He goes, not this.
That's right. R.J. Davis knocks it down, and the lead is back to 15 for the Tar Heels.
Another catch and shoot 3.
Filipowski, the spin and the kick. Power for 3, and Cadeau is called for the foul. He's claiming it was clean. So it'll be 3 free throws coming for the Blue Devils when we come back. It's for her to be in. I think she's straddling that line about as well as she can.
She's doing it very well,
yeah.
But I don't think anyone would blame her for supporting her brother. It'd probably be easier to wear a Stanford jersey in this game, because Harrison Ingram started his career at Stanford before transferring to North Carolina. But he is having a spectacular year.
Remember, Power fouled on a 3-point attempt. He has made one of the first 2. He's getting a bit more minutes lately. Sean Stewart is getting a few more minutes lately. They're without Caleb Foster, one of their guards, another freshman. He is still out wearing a boot, has a lower leg injury as Power comes out.
And Caleb Foster is an outstanding shooter, so it takes away a 3-point shooter. Duke had 5 guys that could really knock down shots. Carolina's got 3. It's R.J. Davis, Cormac Ryan, and Harrison Ingram.
So far tonight, Carolina 4 for 6 from 3. Duke's 0 for 5. Ingram the step in and draws a foul.
Boy, that was a great job by Armando Baycott. Remember, he had 5 assists in the first game in Chapel Hill. And those, the passes he made out of the post led to 10 points for North Carolina. And that pass he made to Ingram was just outside the 3-point line, and Kyle Filipowski had to come out to him, and he did a great job of faking and driving and picking up that foul.
Our ESPN NBA Sunday night doubleheader starts with the Knicks hosting the 76ers at 7 Eastern. Then Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves take it on LeBron and the Lakers in L.A. How much fun is Anthony Edwards to watch?
Well, you figured he would be after how fun he was to watch at Georgia. Remember that game he had in Maui against Michigan State where he put up over 40?
Yeah, he was great in the World Cup for the U.S. as well. He excels at all levels of basketball.
Really good job just bumping Kyle Filipowski so he can't get that low post position.
Filipowski got Bacot in the air, but he lost the ball. It still belongs to Duke with 10 to shoot.
And even when Duke has had the advantage, I mean, he had that within 2 feet of the basket. Carolina is still reaching in, knocking it away. They are really difficult to score against.
You asked Hubert Davis before the game about the dedication to defense and how much he talks about it, and he says he talks about defense twice as much as he talks about offense, and in the last 2 years he estimated it was a 50-50 split.
Well, and you can see what they've emphasized is what they've become, and they didn't just speak it into existence, they've worked at it. And for this team that really struggled last year, missed the NCAA tournament after going to the national championship game the year before, you know, they've established a defensive identity first, and then their offense flows from that. They're still good in transition. They're still good on the offensive glass, and they've got R.J. Davis and Armando Bacot, 2 great players, but they don't have the same kind of lottery talent that maybe they've had in past years. But their defense has been just workmanlike all year long.
They keep you under 70. They beat you this year. They've won 5 in a row overall. And on a number of occasions, they're keeping teams down in the 60s.
And what they've done is disrupt any kind of rhythm that Duke can establish on the offensive end.
Bacot kicks it back out to Davis. Still lots of time. Lost it. Proctor ahead of the pack to lay it in.
Oh, that's 2 buckets that Tyrese Proctor has off of Carolina turnovers. One off the rip steal, and then Davis mishandles it.
Trimble turns the corner, and he lays it in.
Boy, talk about too easy. A little bit of ball movement, and all of a sudden the middle opened up like the Red Sea.
Filipowski again banging with a Bacot. Too strong off the glass. Carolina running. Ingram drives, pulls up, and missed the 8-footer. Bodies on the deck, and back comes McCain. Ingram went down again. Filipowski looks like he's bothered by something behind the play, and now back come the heels. And what an offensive rebound by Ingram to get a fresh possession for Carolina.
Guess who? Harrison Ingram. He is a hard hat rebounder.
Filipowski stuck on Davis. Open is Ingram. Good block out there by Young. Filipowski the rebound, and it's Duke ball.
Well, Duke has found it really difficult to score in this game, but they've gotten a couple buckets with Tyrese Proctor taking it the other way. Had a steal off a bad pass, and then look at this, just a simple little exchange on the right wing. And all of a sudden, everything opens up. And
ooh,
I've seen that movie before.
Yeah, not a great look there. Filipowski to the bench. Carolina up 12. Ted Valentine talking to Filipowski. Ted Valentine, Bert Smith, Tony Henderson, the officials tonight.
Been a very low foul first half. There haven't been many fouls called.
4 on Carolina, 3 on Duke.
Boy, Cormac Ryan doing a good job locking and trailing on Jared McCain.
McCain gets just a little bit of space and buries the 3.
McCain didn't give up. Went out to the left, then came out back to the right. And boy, did he set his feet in a hurry.
Good defense, better offense. 9 for McCain. Soft touch in the mid-range game for R.J. Davis.
Well, he can make every shot, but the first thing you have to do is get him off that 3-point line. Make him take those tough twos. You take your hat off to him for making it.
At some point in the ACC tournament, he's going to surpass 2,000 career points. What a career he has had in Chapel Hill.
It's really been amazing. He took over a couple years ago from Caleb Love the point guard duties, or at least most of the primary ball handling duties. And I think when that happened, Carolina took off. Of course, they had Brady Manick on that team, wound up in the national title game against Kansas. But he has been as good as any guard in the country this year. First team All-America without question.
Woo, had it taken away. McCain, he's got help and is fouled before the shot. No basket.
Smart foul by Cormac Ryan. That saved a bucket. Duke now is going to have to inbound the ball and play 5-on-5. Really smart foul.
First foul on Ryan. Well, there are a lot of guys on both teams. They don't shy away from the physical play. They'll stick their noses in there. Wide open, Proctor. Boy, Hubert Davis can't be happy with that. That was too easy.
Looked like they were doing a little pre-switching, but just a simple swing to the left side and a wide open three.
And Duke is climbing back into it. Ingram shut off by Young, keeps the dribble alive. Can't hit it. McCain to the free throw line, too strong.
Boy, what great defense by Seth Trimble to stay in front and really put pressure on that shot.
Transition three won't go for Davis. Young the rebound. And Paxton Wojcik of Carolina called for the foul with 3:19 to go in the half as Duke is making more of a game of it right now. Mr.
Over and let Duke get out in transition.
Again, what's at stake tonight? If Carolina wins, they are the outright ACC regular season champions. If Duke wins, each school will hang a banner. Each will share the championship. And it would remain to be seen who's the one seed in the ACC tournament. It comes down to tiebreakers and what happens in a couple of the other games that are going on right now as Seth Trimble just got poked in the eye.
Poked in the eye after he made a great deflection and a steal off a simple inbounds play on side out of bounds. He impacts the game with his defense about as well as any player in the ACC. Just caught a little finger across the eye there from the left hand of Mark Mitchell. Right now on the floor, Dan, Carolina's basically got three scorers: Baycott, Ingram, and Davis.
Mark Mitchell was assessed a foul on that play. Cormac Ryan has now just gotten up to go check in. And he was instant offense in the first couple of minutes of this game.
Here comes the back down. Got an advantage.
Trimble passed up the three, steps in for the two, and hits it.
Wow, he passed up an open three for a difficult two, but shot it with great touch. Seth Trimble's defense in this game has been exemplary.
Carolina's got Elliot Cadeau on the bench. The freshman has 2 fouls. Filipowski's been out for a stretch here for Duke. Ryan Young continues to man the 5 spot. And Proctor draws a foul.
Well, Trimble picked up the foul, but it's like he was born in a stance. He was siding that, trying to keep it to the right side, and then just got into Jared McCain a little bit too much as he was trying to turn the corner. Just gapped it, went underneath Ryan Young. But all game long, he has been down low in a stance and difficult to get by.
7th team foul committed by Carolina, so McCain to the line. If you've watched much Duke basketball at all, you're probably pretty familiar with the numbers. First 8 games of the year, McCain averaged about 7.5 points per game. He's been at about 15.5 points per game ever since.
Well, he was very good against NC State. Had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and had a 4-point play in transition that was spectacular, and I don't think anybody's going to forget that 35-point outburst he had against Florida State. He made 8 threes, 7 of them in the first half.
And he's got a game-high 11 already in this one. Duke was down double digits for a while, down by 8 right now. Ryan driving on Filipowski and draws a foul. And that'll be number 2.
And that's really the difference in Cormac Ryan this year versus perhaps last year. Yeah, he is not just a shooter. He's got the shot credibility from deep. He can give you a little shot fake, but he put the ball on the deck and went hard into the lane to draw that foul. And he was body seeking against Kyle Filipowski.
A couple of huge pickups in the transfer portal for Hubert Davis and Carolina in Harrison Ingram and Cormac Ryan. Jalen Withers, also a nice addition. He's coming in now, veteran player from Louisville, getting about 10-12 minutes off the bench in a backup role.
And Jalen Withers hit 40 3-point field goals last year at Louisville. He's only got 3 this year, but he's athletic and can come into the game, provides a more athletic dimension.
1 of 2 in a 9-point game.
This is a really important last 2 minutes of the first half. Can Carolina stretch it out, or can Duke eat into this 9-point lead?
Roach back to Filipowski. Proctor baseline. The kick in the corner. Roach misses the 3. Young the rebound. Wide open Proctor. Boy, Young battling forward again, but it comes down to Baycott.
What a great kick out by Ryan Young. You can't ask for more wide open 3. Duke just didn't make it.
Duke 2 for 10 from 3. Pull up Davis. Rebound Baycott. Boy, a couple of pretty good looks for Carolina that won't go down.
But Duke ran R.J. Davis off the 3-point line.
A minute 10 to go in the half. Filipowski gives it to Roach.
Right now, Duke looks like they're cutting at 3/4 speed.
Roach with a nice drive gets the lead down to 7 for the Heels.
Just had that Carolina defense lifted and no help side.
First points of the night for Jeremy Roach on his senior night. Ingram with a size advantage on Roach. No double. Withers open in the corner.
Well, if Duke can get a score here, you go into halftime feeling a heck of a lot better. They are within striking distance.
They were down as many as 15 earlier in this game.
And it's been methodical, this comeback.
Proctor beyond the arc, Baycott on him. He'll pull for 3. And Ingram the rebound, and lots of time for Carolina to get a look. Ingram, a tough one in the corner. Withers up and in.
Boy, if that's not emblematic of the first half. Just more alert and quicker to the ball to get that stick back.
Carolina has led wire to wire.
37%. And Baycott and Davis are only 3 of 10. They've got 7 points, and Carolina's still up 9. I think Carolina's got to go into Baycott to start this second half.
Jess Sims had a chance to talk with John Shire at halftime.
I caught up with Coach Shire as he was coming out of the locker room, and he said, listen, we had a horrible start, and we gave them life early. But he does think that they won the rest of the half. So he said, once we stopped being antsy on offense and just started to settle in, we made a big difference. And then the other thing, we got to get those loose balls that y'all were just talking about up there and those rebounds.
Well-run play on the first possession, but Filipowski can't finish it, and it's Carolina ball up by 9.
And Baycott did a really nice job of challenging Filipowski at the rim to make him finish it, and did so without fouling.
Ryan not shy at all, misses the 3, and Mitchell down with a rebound for the Blue Devils.
Davis was the first cutter, Ryan the second.
Roach. Ryan good defense, but Filipowski comes up with the loose ball and lays it in.
And maybe that's the kind of thing that can get Kyle Filipowski going in this game.
Baycott, good deflection and steal by Filipowski.
Just had his hand in the passing lane for that little pocket pass.
Winds up with Ingram on him. The turnaround goes. And 2 quick buckets here early in the second half for Duke.
Kyle Filipowski playing bully ball against Harrison Ingram. Didn't get pushed back. And now it's a 5-point game.
Cadeau, who sat for a while in the first half with a couple of fouls, is fouled here on the runner, and he will shoot a couple.
I think that's the 3rd foul on Kyle Filipowski.
I think you are correct.
Good steal, just getting his hand in the passing lane, that right hand, and then playing a little bully ball against Harrison Ingram. And he doesn't shrink against the physicality of Ingram, just went right into his chest and finished it with the right hand.
Cadeau misses the first. Hubert Davis talked to us about Cadeau, the freshman, a 5-star recruit, and said, a lot of 5-stars come in and they say, hey, I'm pretty good, and I was on this team, and Cadeau, he said, realized quickly, whoa, there are a lot of good players here, and he said Cadeau is perfectly willing to understand, I can still improve. I've got to be coached. As we welcome you back to this ESPN Sonic Blockbuster, Carolina leading Duke by 6. Filipowski, what a start to the second half for him.
Well, Bacot giving him some space, thinking he would drive. Just gave a little jab step and pulled up for that 3.
It's Filipowski 7, Carolina 1 here in the second half. Good D by Mitchell. Didn't let Cormac Ryan turn the corner. Davis trying to shake Proctor. Takes a bump and finishes.
R.J. Davis's handle is so good. The crossover to get to that right hand, but give Proctor credit. He is not allowing him open threes. You make him take those tough 2s.
The drive and the foul on Bacot.
Filipowski showing he can go to his left. He's not just a right driver. And in this second half, he has taken it physically to Armando Bacot. Got a couple between the legs, but that left to right crossover just gave him the space, and that's a big time finish. And then Filipowski, little jab step, froze the defender Armando Bacot. Then he pulls up for the 3.
Part of what makes Filipowski such a difficult cover at times is he can go after you inside, he can go after you outside as well. He's at the free throw line now.
Big day for lip readers there. Well, you have to think that John Shire and the entire Duke coaching staff challenged Kyle Filipowski to be more of a factor in this second half. He was knocked back in the first, but he's come out on fire in the second.
1 of 2. He's still got all 8 Duke points here in the early going in the second half.
You have to think that Bacot needs to touch it down in the low post.
Especially with Filipowski having 3 fouls now. There it is. Going right after him. Missed with the left hand. Mitchell the rebound.
Well, even though he missed it, I still think Carolina needs to go and play through Bacot.
McCain to an open Roach. Count it! And it's a 1-point game.
Just Duke getting that piece of the paint, collapses the defense, and then they can kick it out.
Davis with an air ball. Back comes McCain. Roach off the glass, no. Battling for it, but Ingram has it for the Tar Heels.
Well, Eli Cadeau looked like he was looking for a screen, gave up the drive.
Ryan spinning into traffic, and a foul is called.
Well, Cormac Ryan hit those 3 early threes, but since then, he's used the threat of the 3 to put the ball on the deck and seek out bodies to get fouled. Jeremy Roach getting it inside. All of a sudden, Elliot Cadeau goes to the ball, over helps, and Roach with the wide open 3. Well, there was a clean block up top, but there was a lot of contact before that drew the foul.
Ryan knocks down the first, so he's into, well, he's got 11 now in the game. Again, the 3 early threes that Jay just referenced. All kinds of action going on around the ACC. Obviously, this is for either an outright championship for Carolina or a shared championship if Duke wins. There's another big one going on. Wake Forest desperately needs a win. They're up 7 late on Clemson. Everybody's going to the nation's capital next week for the ACC tournament.
I thought we were going to Washington, D.C. Oh, is that the nation's capital?
Yeah, I think so.
I learn something new every day.
Tough scoop there by Cadeau. Just too many bodies.
One thing Baycott can't do is overhelp here and leave Filipowski open. A good denial by Cormac Ryan.
McCain has to back it out to Proctor. 10 to shoot.
Oh, what a move.
And Filipowski fouled by Ingram.
Boy, rather than just go in that handoff action, what all the defenders were anticipating, just an inside pivot that gave him a lane to the.
Just kind of a do-it-all, a big guy who can do it all, right? Play 3, 4, 5 with a positionless big.
Yeah, he's a lottery pick. He can do it all at his size. He reminds you of Christian Laettner.
Filipowski and Roach, as you can see, have combined for all 11 Duke points in this half. Filipowski 8, Roach 3. But Filipowski just missed the first.
North Carolina needs to get Armando Baycott going. And oftentimes what they'll do when he's on the perimeter, they'll screen him into the low post, or they can use a guard to set a little on big cross screen to get him positioned in the post. But I think they need to go to him.
Funny how different games can be. Baycott had 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in the first game back in Chapel Hill. He's got 2 points, 4 rebounds tonight. Now he has just doubled his point total, and he's going to the line as well.
Cormac Ryan just set a little cross screen for Armando Baycott to give him a little bit of separation. Ryan Young did a good job of pushing him off the block, but he just went one-on-one in the post. Duke decided not to double, and he just gives a little drop step, got the contact, and still finished that with the left hand. I think Carolina very smart to try to get Armando Baycott going in this second half.
And one thing that hurt Duke in the first game, we talked about the 5 assists that Baycott had. 3 of them were for 3-pointers. They doubled him, and he's a good passer, found the open man. So Duke willing to go a little bit more one-on-one. But right after that play, Ryan Young came right back out. Kyle Filipowski came right back in.
And that very play that they ran, we showed it on College Game Day as something Duke was going to have to deal with. What a block.
Withers got all of that. Here comes Trimble. Challenging Filipowski, and the follow good for Withers. What a sequence for him at both ends of the floor.
Well, by challenging Filipowski, not only could you have picked up the 4th foul on Filipowski, but he takes himself out of rebounding, and Withers took advantage of it. That's 2 stickbacks in this game for Jalen Withers.
And a block for Baycott. And a great look ahead for Ryan. He will lay it in.
Well, Carolina is taking advantage of Duke in transition. Duke has really only had a couple transition buckets, and it's off the turnovers that Tyrese Proctor took the other way. Other than that, North Carolina has limited Duke in transition.
All of a sudden, a 7-0 run for Carolina and Jay.
Indoor Stadium tonight. It has to remain a defensive effort, and thus far in the game, Carolina's defensive effort has been stellar.
Duke ball, McCain to inbound. Filipowski driving on to Baycott. Got him to bite on the fake and lays it in. That was beautiful.
Well, they ran that similar play. It's just to get an isolation for Kyle Filipowski so he can dribble to his right one-on-one against Armando Baycott. And just a superior shot fake at the end of that play.
Filipowski now with 11 in the second half. Stood his ground defensively. Withers came up with a rebound. Gets it back from Ryan and then turns it over.
Well, Withers should have gone up with that, but what an alert play by Jared McCain to take it away.
What a nice pass by McCain. He finds Mitchell. Withers down with a rebound.
Well, Withers has challenged at the rim on numerous occasions. He's been so active.
Carolina getting good minutes out of their bench players tonight as Bacot lays it home.
Bacot got the angle. He got Kyle Filipowski on the high side, just sealed him off, and Filipowski could not afford to foul.
Filipowski for three. Mitchell the rebound. 11 in the half for Kyle Filipowski, 15 on the night. Trimble, good defense on the perimeter. Shot clock at 4. Tough turnaround. And here come the heels.
Really good job by Bacot.
Ball deflected out of bounds, and it belongs to Duke as Carolina comes up empty in transition.
Filipowski getting to his right hand here with the inside pivot, and this shot fake and then pivot just let Armando Bacot fly by. Just a great play by Kyle Filipowski. Now on the other end, Armando Bacot seals off Filipowski, and then all of a sudden he has to go over Jared McCain with the left hand. Just a really good play to get an angle by Armando Bacot.
Bacot now with 7. Filipowski physically going at Jalen Washington. As soon as Bacot left the game, Filipowski, you could see, decided that he wanted to try to take Washington right down under the bucket.
And when Filipowski got into Washington's chest, what that does is keeps Washington from being really able to jump to challenge that shot. He wound up fouling, but that physicality on the drive really made it for Filipowski.
West Coast Conference Tournament action continues tonight at 10 Eastern on ESPN2. All a part of Champ Week, presented by Principal, St. Mary's, and Gonzaga safely in the field. We'll see who plays them in the semifinals. Top 2 seeds in the West Coast Conference get a bye to the semis. So if somebody can pull off an upset, Jay, to win that conference tournament, maybe a 3. You would think a 3-bid lead for the West Coast Conference. You think the top 2 are safe?
They are absolutely safe. Both Gonzaga and St. Mary's are firmly in the field.
Filipowski's gone to the bench again. Young and Stewart up front right now for Duke. Davis defended well by Roach.
Roach not helping off at all. It's been Proctor most of the game.
Trimble into the paint. Bounces off the rim, still loose. Duke has it.
A lot of arm there when Sean Stewart grabbed that rebound.
Sean Stewart has given the Blue Devils some very good minutes in their last 3 games, becoming a bigger part of the rotation.
Well, especially against NC State at 12 points. And I think he blocked 3 shots in that game. He was spectacular.
Played 26 minutes. Filipowski had foul trouble. What a steal by Ingram, and he's fouled by Young.
That short roll is really difficult to deal with, and Ryan Young trying to give it up instead of taking it himself.
If Duke wins tonight and Pitt loses its game to NC State, then Duke would be the #1 seed. If Duke wins and Pitt wins, then Carolina would be the #1 seed. All kinds of complicated tiebreakers. But back to Wake for a sec. That is an enormous win for Steve Forbes and the Deacs. They had lost their last 3. They put themselves in real jeopardy. Joe Lunardi has them next 4 out, I believe, at the moment. That was almost a must-have for them, beating the Tigers tonight.
No question. And if Wake can win a couple games in the ACC tournament, I think they will be in the field. But Cormac Ryan with another strong drive. That gives him 16 points for the game. That ties Kyle Filipowski for the scoring leader in this game. What a play by Cadeau.
And another example of a Tar Heel getting to the floor first. But it winds up in a loose ball and a Tyrese Proctor 3 off a broken play.
Well, Duke taking advantage of that broken play, but you have to give credit to Cadeau. First to the floor, great hustle.
And now Sean Stewart called for the foul. John Shire has Stewart defending Bacot down in the paint.
And Cadeau just beating Jared McCain to the ball, and because Kyle Filipowski was able to beat Harrison Ingram to it, that led to a wide open 3 for Proctor. But Baycott able to get that position on Stewart for the high-low. Just not enough pressure on Harrison Ingram.
And again, Stewart on Baycott. John Shire told me this morning we just want him to be a pest. It also can help keep Filipowski out of foul trouble, but it results in a bucket for Baycott.
Well, the one thing, that's a 2. They're keeping R.J. Davis from getting threes. And outside of the first few minutes, they've taken threes away from Cormac Ryan as well.
McCain just keeps on going and lays it in with the left hand.
Well, he got R.J. Davis on his back and just kept him there in jail and was able to get all the way to the rim. Jared McCain is a player.
Yep. Foul before the slam.
That was a big-time pass by Cormac Ryan, throwing it along the baseline. An old Tom Davis special. Just picking off R.J. Davis off that handoff action and not letting him get back around in front.
And Jay, those quick fouls on Stewart, he's now got 4, and he's gone to the bench. So Ryan Young has come back in, and Young is on Baycott. John Shire obviously deliberately trying to keep Filipowski away from Baycott right now. Wow. Cormac Ryan for 3.
Boy, what a pass by Armando Baycott. And Cormac Ryan, there was zero hesitation. Talk about catch and shoot. How do you take a catch and shoot away when it's up that fast?
There was one possession early in the second half. Duke had the ball down by 1. They didn't score. They've never led. And Carolina's got it back out to 10. Roach blocked by Ryan. And then the foul is called.
Armando Baycott one-on-one in the post against Ryan Young. And Jared McCain caught a little bit in no man's land. You just have to stick with Cormac Ryan. You just can't allow him catch and shoot opportunities, but give credit to Ryan. That's just a great shot with a really quick release on it.
He could be streaky, just 4 for 17 on threes his last 3 games, but the 3 prior games, 14 for 27 shooting the 3. Cormac Ryan definitely has this in him.
By my math, that's over 50%.
By anybody's math, it's over 50%. But I'll humor you. A much bigger night here in the rematch for Ryan. And it all started early. I mean, he really set the tone for the game. As you said, it was like an instant replay. Back-to-back identical spots and identical threes in the opening minute and a half of the game. Cadeau out of bounds. Carolina ball. A lot of contact between Cadeau and Roach.
It was a good idea for that pass, but I think that's something that Elliot Cadeau needs to just go ahead and finish.
Again, Young guarding Baycott. Baycott's going to go right at him.
Loves to go back baseline.
And he's called for the offensive foul. A little too much with that off arm. Ted Valentine with the call. Knocked away by Cadeau. Ingram. He's got Ryan. Ryan forces it up, and Young commits the foul.
Another great play by Elliot Cadeau to knock that ball away. And Ryan has used his three-point shooting threat to become a driver when it's appropriate, and his drives have been strong. Just a little shot fake and goes right around Filipowski and uses an extra little fake to get Ryan Young off balance. Just went right into him.
Number 3 on Young, and an 86% free throw shooter back to the line for the Heels.
And in a game where Duke has basically taken away R.J. Davis, they're sticking to him, just hugging up on him, not allowing him anything, not helping off him. Cormac Ryan has stepped into that void.
And he makes them both. 21 points on the night now for Cormac Ryan.
He had a big night in this building against Duke. I think he had 27 when he was at Notre Dame. He's not unfamiliar with big nights in this building.
The 21 he's got tonight, that's a season high here for Ryan, the grad transfer. Filipowski working hard. He wants it. He's got Withers on him. Baycott thinking about helping. Boy, a lot of traffic down low, and Duke comes up empty.
Great challenge by Baycott.
Davis. Finally a little space, and he knocks down the runner.
He has such a good middle game. Those floaters, pull-up jumpers, and Ted Valentine going to talk to Baycott and Filipowski about the extracurricular activities.
A quick conversation, no fouls called. Just want to keep things from getting too heated.
R.J. Davis just cutting against the grain and then driving into the middle. And he's such a good cutter, but he's had very little space in this game due to Duke dedicating a defender to him, whether it's Proctor or Roach. They have been stuck to him all game long, not helping off.
I think you had some accidental alliteration there due to Duke dedicating a defender.
It wasn't accidental alliteration.
Roach, and he is fouled. Did they get Davis or Cadeau? They got
Cadeau.
Like
Cadeau, yeah.
Number 3 on Elliot Cadeau.
Now, one thing that Duke has done well in this game is they've kept North Carolina off the free throw line. Carolina averages about 23 free throws a game on the season, 22 in ACC play. And they've been nowhere near that in this game.
Senior night for Jeremy Roach, who has not definitively said he is leaving. He could come back for one more year. This is his 125th game as a Blue Devil, his 103rd start. He has more than 1,400 career points. His family looks on.
Duke bringing a little full court pressure. 2-2-1.
Stolen by Filipowski. Duke trying to get it into single digits.
Passing and catching.
McCain, quick release. And Ingram with the rebound.
Ingram is a workhorse on the glass. 11.5 rebounds a game in ACC play.
And he's right on target. Yeah, he's got 9 tonight.
Baycott leads the league for the year with just about 10.
Baycott kicks it out. 5 to shoot. Cadeau's got to create. And they turn it over. 7:15 to go in a game in which Carolina has led throughout, trying to sweep the regular season series from the Blue.
Been driving it strong and seeking out contact and getting to the free throw line. Cormac Ryan is one of the biggest reasons that North Carolina has this 10-point lead heading into the last 7 minutes of regulation.
The Tar Heels as a team shooting an impressive 52% on the game. They shot 51% in the win over Duke, Feb 6 back in Chapel Hill. That is a much needed basket for the Blue Devils. Jared McCain with a 3.
Jared McCain just got a little fade screen coming toward the ball, and he was ready to fire as soon as he caught it. He had 11 points in that first half, been a little quiet in the second. He needs to get going.
R.J. Davis held in check tonight, 4 for 9, 9 points for the ACC's leading scorer. They're making him give up the ball. Ingram, and it counts.
Looked like Filipowski fouled him, but Duke is trying, they call it weak. They're sending R.J. Davis to his left, to his weak hand. He can still go to his left, but he just did a great job of throwing back to the screener Harrison Ingram, so he could have one-on-one against Kyle Filipowski, who had to get back to him, and just able to go through his legs, get into the middle, and spin off, and picked up that 4th foul on Filipowski with 6:36 to go in regulation.
10 now for Ingram, marking the 17th game in a row, Jay. He's had either double-figure points, double-figure rebounds, or both. You just cannot keep the man down.
Well, and he's so good at going after a mismatch. And that may be because of the NBA background of Hubert Davis. Spent so many years in the NBA playing for the Knicks and the Mavericks.
Jared McCain's pretty good for a freshman, isn't he?
He's pretty good for anybody. Like, Jared McCain is afraid of absolutely nothing. You know, I got my nails done with him yesterday.
I saw that.
Very uncomfortable. He's unapologetically himself. I've been apologizing for that ever since.
I don't know that he's going to win ACC Rookie of the Year. Marcus Burton at Notre Dame has had such a great year. There's Buck Carrington at Pitt as well. But he certainly, I mean, he'll be, you know, on the all-rookie team, all-freshman team without question. He has been a mainstay for the Blue Devils. And Ryan was kind of getting forced out of bounds, so he will use a timeout with 6:14 to go. We'll be back in 30. Carolina's led wire to wire. They're up 7 right now here at Cameron. The top 2 seeds in the Gales and the Zags. The championship game Tuesday night at 9 Eastern on ESPN.
That's in Vegas, isn't it?
I believe it is.
It's a long way from here, even as the crow flies.
That's my bit. You've got your bit. Ingram sizing up Mitchell, a very good defender, goes by him and draws the foul. That was well done by Ingram.
Showing he has a little shake to his game as well. And got Mark Mitchell, who's an excellent defender, off balance and able to get to that right hand. And the fact that he gets so low when he drives with strength. And how much better is Harrison Ingram at North Carolina than he was at Stanford? I mean, all of his numbers, his efficiency way up from when he was playing out on the West Coast.
Hubert Davis says his shot has improved so much. He is tops on the team in steals, second on the team in rebounding, first in league play, second on the team in three-point percentage, third in scoring, and third in assists. He can help you win games every which way.
And he's also a good defender, but his rebounding is next level good, especially in ACC play. I mean, to get 11.5 rebounds a game and 3 offensive rebounds, playing with Armando Bacot, who gobbles up rebounds like crazy.
Filipowski, a big second half for him as he continues to play now with 4 fouls.
And I think they need to go right at him. He's guarding Ingram, and that puts Ryan Young on Armando Bacot. Now he's going to back down Proctor with the mismatch.
Good cut by Ryan. Ingram couldn't get it to him. Turnaround, no. Young the rebound.
Proctor did the best he could. Just make him take a tough shot over you and don't let him get all the way to the rim.
Young just steps in. Oh, and in and out. That ball was halfway down and popped right back out.
Well, Ryan Young is a non-shooter from the perimeter, so Armando Bacot is just staying in the middle of the lane, clogging things up.
Nearing the 5-minute mark, Carolina leading by 7. Davis from the baseline, left it a little short.
Got a little staggered screen, but Duke was there to take away the 3. And that's what they want to do, make him take tough twos.
Well, it feels like a big trip here, doesn't it? Roach, left hand, no. But a foul is called on Elliot Cadeau.
And that's where Cadeau has to be a little bit more disciplined. He's got Armando Bacot back there to block or change a shot. You don't want to foul when you've got a big guy right there to help you. See Armando Bacot just camped out in the lane. He's there to make that a really difficult 2. You don't want to bail out Jeremy Roach and send him to the foul line.
Number 4 on Cadeau and an 86% free throw shooter at the line. That means 14% of the time. That being an example right there. He's due to make this one.
Seth Trimble back in the ballgame. Carolina's made excellent use of their bench. And how about the job Jalen Withers did when he was in there? 8 rebounds. He's only played 11 or 12 minutes, but blocked a couple shots, really impactful.
6 points as well. Davis gets it over to Ryan. It's only a 6-point game, and there's 4.5 minutes to go. Ingram the drive. Over Filipowski, he knocks it down.
Boy, what a shot by Harrison Ingram. Gets the defender going one way.
What a move by Filipowski, and he's fouled by Baycott. Number 3 on Armando Baycott.
Well, Carolina needs to keep going at Kyle Filipowski. Put him in a position to get a foul, or maybe to back off just a little bit. But he put great pressure on that shot. That's just a big-time shot by Harrison Ingram. Never took his eyes off the rim. Look at that concentration.
That is Filipowski's 15th point in the second half. His 19th point on the night. And he's been at the line tonight. 4 for 7 pending this one. Now 5 for 8. And again, it's a 6-point game.
This 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure puts Carolina in a position maybe to turn it over, but it takes time off the clock. And they don't have to guard in the half court for quite as long. But Carolina's got to get into something quickly and attack.
Here comes Ryan, gets it off, and hits another one. Cormac Ryan with his 5th three-pointer of the night.
Duke thought that Ryan was going to set a back screen, and instead it was a pin down, a counter.
Wow. Filipowski with the response.
Now we're seeing some shot making in this game.
Trimble gets it over. And now to R.J. Davis. Guarded by McCain. Help from Filipowski.
Good pass.
Trimble, another good pass. And Filipowski with not 1 but 2 rejections at the rim.
We better get a shot up.
Ingram knows it. Young the rebound.
Boy, how about that defense by Filipowski with 4 fouls?
2 blocks on Baycott back to back.
Well, you get a score here. That's momentum.
The crossover on Baycott. Left hand, no. Ingram has it.
Didn't get the foul because it was offense-initiated contact. Good decision by Trimble to get it back out to R.J. Davis.
Hubert Davis calling a play. Trimble in one corner, Ingram in the other. Ryan setting the ball screen. Now slides out of it. Got to keep an eye on him beyond the perimeter.
Got the switch. Filipowski on Davis.
Davis goes by him. Filipowski got a piece of it from behind. And it stays with Carolina. No foul call. Davis thought he was hit by Filipowski. No foul call, but it is Carolina ball.
Well, there was no...
Still loose. The officials look at the monitor and have decided it is because the ball was still loose after that, it's a shot clock violation, Duke ball.
Oh, in a 6-point game, Duke gets a score here, especially a 3, and all of a sudden there's a lot of game pressure on North Carolina going down the stretch, but Jeremy Roach turns it over, and that threat is diminished.
He was trying to pass it into the corner and just kind of fumbled it, lost the handle. And now again, Carolina, they can milk the clock just a little bit. R.J. Davis showing some patience.
And a little horn set. And now they clear aside.
Ryan.
Wow.
It is his night. 6 made threes for Cormac Ryan.
Boy, how quick was that release? You know, you say take away his catch and shoot, but when he gets it off that quickly,
he's got 27 points in this game. He just saved it, but it's off Ingram out of bounds. Ingram wants them to have a look at it.
I mean, look how quickly Cormac Ryan gets this off. Jeremy Roach couldn't even
on the 2 line.
Right now for North Carolina, Dan, they want to be thinking defense. No threes and no fouls.
John Shires put TJ Power back in the game because of his 3-point shooting ability. Roach drives and kicks. Power in the corner, and he hits it.
Boy, you don't want to help off. You get caught in no man's land on a drive that can give up a tough 2. And Seth Trimble was caught in between the lane and TJ. Instead of the 2-2-1, looks like they're going to go man.
Cadeau to inbound. They'll try to keep the ball out of Davis's hands. Proctor's on him. Into Ryan. Back to Cadeau, and they get it over. And Davis will watch the clock tick under a minute left in regulation.
You have to think that Harrison Ingram going against T.J. Power is something that Hubert Davis wants to look toward.
Davis and Ryan, excellent free throw shooters if it comes to that. Davis just throws it up. Bacot gets it back to Cadeau. Oh! Goes!
Are you kidding? With the shot clock winding down, did he get it off in time? It looked like he did.
And absolutely, which I think was the initial call on the floor, so maybe the officials just felt there was not overwhelming evidence to overturn it. Either way, it's a huge basket, obviously, for Carolina. Boy, Proctor was barely back in bounds in time. He's trying to go coast to coast, and he will succeed. Still a 6-point game, 35 seconds to go.
Smart just to get to the rim, extend the game.
Ryan pushed off and is called for the foul. Oh my.
Boy, delayed call, but that left arm did come up.
So Duke ball.
Louis Carnesecca, the famous coach of St. John's, used to say, it's a subway push.
Keep an eye on Power. He's hit 1 3 recently.
Boy, good switch out by Bacot just to take away the 3.
McCain. There's Power. Ingram the closeout. Power the drive, and he lays it in, and it's down to 4. .2 seconds to go. Davis. Trimble. Ryan. And they will foul. Roach will foul Ryan and send, again, a very good free throw shooter to the line. 5 for 6 tonight. 86% on the season.
And on a night when he's having a huge game and seeing a big basket. But Duke didn't have a choice. Had to foul him.
If they could do it over, they would have gotten to Trimble before he passed it to Ryan.
No question.
Yeah, Davis and Ryan are not the guys Duke wants to see on the line. 2 shots. A 25-year-old, 6th-year player who has played a number of games in this building before while he was with the Irish.
Started his career at Stanford playing for Jared Haas, but played one of his first games at the Smith Center.
Yeah. And he came out firing tonight and really hasn't stopped. Back to a 6-point game.
Well, Duke's got to think about a 3 here.
15 seconds, that's it. Proctor. Kept alive by Filipowski. Roach. And that goes in. And it makes it a 1-possession game with 5.8 seconds to go.
When you can run the baseline, you can do this.
Filipowski playing free safety back at the 3-point line.
Send somebody long, then a post route, maybe a slant.
Got to get it in. Ryan's got it and is fouled. Boy, it wasn't routine, but the end result is pretty good from Hubert Davis's point of view.
The targeted receivers were Davis and Ryan. And the quarterback, Cadeau, got it to one of the 2 he wanted to.
Usually you don't like to talk about the sadistic ground acquisition game.
It is a sadistic ground acquisition game that's nothing more than a crypto-fascist metaphor for war.
The Voya player of the game tonight is standing at the free throw line right now. Cormac Ryan having a career night on a big stage. That is his 30th point of the game.
And I think he just salted this one away. 2-possession game with 4.7 in regulation. What a game by Cormac Ryan.
Started it strong, finishing it strong. Made them both. Just 4.7 seconds to go.
Tyler Zeller this morning talked about nothing better than a quiet Cameron Indoor Stadium.
And it's pretty quiet right now as this one comes to an end. Carolina sweeps the regular season series from Duke. They beat them by 9 in Chapel Hill. They beat them by 5 here tonight. They lead wire to wire